Raisin Bran.
Why'd you order tea?
Because you ordered Raisin Bran.
I ordered Raisin Bran because I didn't want there to be any mistaking this for a date.
It can still be a date even if you order Raisin Bran.
Well, it's not a date. How's your thing going? The dancing thing?
It's good. How's your restraining order?
I don't know if I would call the restraining order my thing. Getting back with Nikki, now that's my thing, and I think it's going pretty well. There's a minor incident at the doctor's office, but I just wish I could write a letter to Nikki and just tell her how well I'm doing and that I have things in control, and I'm just not out of control right now.
Don't you worry about a thing. What is your objective, each of you? Jonathan, what's your objective here with her? Why are you there?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it changes. I think at first it's to establish a connection with someone who doesn't make me feel crazy. Establish a friendship with someone who feels safe.
It's not necessarily something you want to do. Maybe
Right.
It's what you have to do for your, because they insisted.
Yeah.
Do you think? To try
I
to
think
get,
so, yeah.
you don't want to be there because you don't want anyone to tell Nikki that you are on a date and you're worried about that whole date situation. You're trying to play it cool, that you're trying to meet with her because of your family insisted, without getting caught or without it causing trouble. Okay. Yeah. And that remains throughout the whole thing. But then you get to add this little juicy bit of, I could get her to help me get back with Nikki.
Yep.
Because I don't think you're trying to make a connection with any other woman. Mm-hmm. At this point, it's only Nikki. But always there's a big element of the moment before the last time you were together.
Yep.
The last time you were together is what you're continuing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you should go together. Yeah, you should meet. All right, I'll meet you at the diner. I don't really want to, but I will. Right?
Yep.
And now you're there, sitting there, and now what should I order? Because I don't want people to think I'm on a date. I'm not going to order a dinner or something. All right, I'll just have Raisin Bran. All right. You see what I'm saying?
So not sexy.
What is your objective, Joanna?
Well, I think Tiffany is very attracted to Pat. I think she thinks he's very cute and she's open to a connection with Pat. And
it's really important for us to see how she reacted to the family trying to get them together because they're both crazy. Right?
Right.
That's kind of important to figure that out because that's going to really affect how she sits down at the table. Okay. She may be attracted to him, but does she want him to know it? Does she want to look like she needs somebody? That's what I need to find out. You're both serious. Mm-hmm. And that's making it like you got your feet stuck in mud a little bit. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
Do you feel like the scene is going in slow motion? Right?
Yes.
Do you feel that at all?
Yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think what we need to do is make you more chatty, Joanna. Because then if you make it a big deal and he makes it a big deal, then it's such a big deal. Next, what I would love for you to do is tell me what you learned from watching your video, okay, from last week. What did you really work on because of what you saw in the video? What was your main concentration? And what was it that I was telling you to do last week that you worked on? Jonathan.
Last week, the big note that I took from you and something that I did was going through and finding the things that excite me and knowing that while, yes, I'm very serious and off put at different points, trying to make sure everyone knows that this isn't a date. I don't want anyone reporting back to my wife that I'm on a date because she's my number one and there's no other woman in my life, but also getting excited when Joanna's character offers to help me and getting excited when Tiffany is talking about things that might excite me. And picking the different points. It doesn't have to be one note, obviously. It doesn't have to be two notes. Just finding a lot of variation throughout.
The whole thing that I talk about is like what's good and what's bad. It applies to what you're saying, and it also applies to what the other person is saying, how you react to what the other person, if what they're saying is not good, you're going to be talking about that in your mind. And then if they're talking about something that's great, then you got to react to it in that way. I like that, but that, no, I don't know about that. So you're constantly going through what's good and what's bad, and then being more specific with that. Obviously there's all kinds of good and there's all kinds of bad. So really getting more specific with how you're reacting and how you are portraying things with your words is really, really important. And how about you, Joanna?
Well, like last week in class, you're talking about contrast between characters, and particularly between my character and Jonathan's character, where he's a little bit more serious and kind of broody, and I'm more like upbeat and trying to make light of a situation to kind of like help bring him out of his gloominess. And then in our one-on-one, you kind of help me explore that, so that she's where Tiffany's character isn't so much like trying to make a friend because she's lonely, which is kind of more of a victim, but more of somebody who is trying to be a model for Jonathan of how to live confidently with mental illness or whatever it is people have labeled as us as such. So yeah, it's just, it'll help with the objective and my intention, and kind of help with the way the scene explodes at the end, where she starts to realize like, oh no, this guy doesn't even think he's crazy. Like he actually thinks,
or he actually thinks I am worse than he is, and I am actually here to try to help him. I know, because I've got my stuff together here. I've got it together, and I'm going to try to help him to be better, and just show him how I can be kind of carefree about the whole thing. I don't get too worried about what people are saying about me or what I did, because, whatever. And that you don't really think that, sleeping with everybody at the office was really that big a deal. They made a big deal out of it. So, I'm just trying to show him how to not let what other people say about you worry you that much. Right. That you're trying to help him rather than feeling needy. Because it's about your objective. Your objective is not to try to get sympathy for yourself or to get help for yourself. It's to give sympathy to somebody else and to help them. Right. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm on thin ice with my family. You should hear how I lost my job.
So that's like a joke. You can laugh that one off. Okay. Because that's not going to help you. Remember, you only want to really go big deal the things that will help you with your objective. It's like, I'm on thin ice with my family. He's saying why silently, right? Why? Well, you should see how I got fired. They're a little pissed off about that, but it's not a big deal, right?
Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing, sweet baby. 'Cause I'll be standing on the sides when you take it.
Why did you order Raisin Bran?
Why did you order tea?
Because you ordered Raisin Bran.
Ordered Raisin Bran because I didn't want anyone to mistake this for a date.
It could still be a date, even if you order Raisin Bran.
Not a date. So how's your thing, the dancing thing going?
Oh, it's good. How's your restraining order?
Well, I wouldn't call the restraining order my thing. No, getting back with Nikki, that's my thing. I think it's going pretty well. Except for that minor incident at the doctor's office. Gosh, I wish I could just write Nikki a letter and explain it, because it really was minor. I'm not out of control.
I could help you get a letter to Nikki. I see her sometimes with my sister.
That would be so great. If you could get a letter to Nikki for me.
I have to be careful because I'm already on thin ice with my family. I mean, you should hear how I lost my job.
How'd you lose your job?
By having sex with everybody in the office.
Everybody?
Look, I was so depressed after Tommy died. So, I mean, yeah, it was a lot of people.
We don't have to talk about it.
Thank you.
How many people were there?
11? 11?
Wow.
I know.
I'm not going to talk about this anymore.
Okay.
Can I ask you one more question? Were there any women?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. There were. Yep.
What was that like?
It was hot. Yeah.
Were there any older women? Like a teacher trying to seduce you?
Make me sit on her lap, tell me to do things. Yeah. Yeah.
You sat on her lap
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and she told you what to do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Nikki hated when I would talk about stuff like this. She made me feel like such a pervert. Maybe we should change the subject.
No, I don't mind.
You don't?
No, I don't. But you know, people, they started getting into fights in the parking lot and at work and in the bathroom. And the boss, he called me into his office and he just tried to pin it all on me. So I accused him of harassment and then they fired me, sent me home, gave me meds.
Oh, I know what that's like. The song that was playing when I caught my wife and the history teacher in the shower together was our wedding song. So whenever I hear it, I kind of go crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I hear it when it's not even playing.
Wow.
Yeah, they put me on medication, which I'm ashamed of.
Yeah.
I just got to get a strategy, you know?
Yeah.
We should get back to the letter.
Yeah. Let's go back to the letter.
What if you gave the letter to Nikki when Veronica was in the bathroom?
Yes. You know what? I like that. That could work.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I got to go write this letter.
Hey, wait. Hey. Can I at least finish my tea?
Wait, what?
My tea. Can I finish it?
Wait a minute. Did Veronica tell Nikki about our dinner? Why would she do that? What, was it a test?
Yeah, I kind of got that feeling.
God damn it. It was a test. I knew it. How did I do? I think I did well.
I mean, she said you were cool, basically.
Basically? What, was I some level of not cool?
No, she said you were cool, but you know,
No, I don't know.
sort of how you are.
Like I am? What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
Sort of like me.
Sort of like you? God, I hope your sister didn't tell Nikki that.
Why?
Because it's not true. It's just not right. Putting you and me in the same category? God, Nikki wouldn't like that. Especially after all the shit you just told me.
You think I'm crazier than you.
Well, we're different.
Oh my God. You are killing me. Do you know what? Forget I ever offered to help you because that must have been fucking crazy because I'm so much crazier than you. Huh. No, I'm just the crazy slut with a dad husband. You know what? Forget it. Oh my God, you shut the fuck up. Fuck you.
Tiffany. Tiffany.
Can't even believe Joanna's first acting class. And that was amazing. And of course, Jonathan is amazing. Jonathan's the whole reason why we have Zoom classes, because he came to me and said, hey, I think you should be doing Zoom classes, because he was doing the acting class subreddit. He's the one that made it all happen. So I'm very grateful to him. And he has come such a long way in that time. I mean, he's really got some skill. But Joanna, my God, I mean, that's something to remark on, because you started from scratch, really.
I did. I never acted with anyone ever, just in like my head, you know, and I'm really happy that Jonathan was my partner for the first class. So
I just think that, you know, like a lot of people say, oh, I think maybe I can't really do Zoom classes. I got to do an in-person class. And, you know, this class was really full and so many people during the pandemic when people couldn't get out. But I just think that there is so much value in what we do here. I think that being able to act with people from across the world is such a cool thing. And I think you guys are absolute proof that this is, you know, work. Everybody in this class was absolute proof that this kind of a class works, that I love teaching on Zoom, and I've been teaching in person all my life. But there's something about meeting people from across the world, you know, across the country, acting with them, sharing with them, and working with them every week that is just so much fun. And you can really learn so much. And I'm so proud of what you two accomplished together in this scene. It was fantastic. Yeah.
Add real quick, Winnie, if you'll let me. I think it's really cool too. They do these online, on camera at home too, because it's giving you so many skills that are relatable nowadays with how many auditions are self-tape. I mean, we've all been practicing in front of the camera now at home in our own setups, doing all this stuff, which is invaluable. You don't get that necessarily in-person classes. Plus, then I also think that the transition from on camera to acting in person is so much easier than vice versa. And I feel like if you can do it here in this setting, it translates so easily to in person, on stage, in front of the camera, at every level. So I just
absolutely, that is so true. What you're doing in this class every week and even in rehearsals is what you need to do in a self-tape. And almost all auditions are self-tapes. You know, the only time you actually go in person is maybe on a second callback or something. You don't do it right away. So in order to just snag that opportunity, you've got to be great, just like this. From here to here, you've got to be fantastic and believable. And that's what we're working on. That's what we're doing here.